all of the Gospel of John. That's my next goal. And it's chapter 15, verse 12. Let's go there. Because I'm figuring that if he uses the exact same language on the same evening, he's probably given me more help in understanding what he said back in verse 34 of chapter 13. So here we are in John 15, verse 12, which goes like this. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. That's pretty close. Almost identical. Now I've got another context I can look at for help. Don't I? And what do you see when you look at this context? Do you see pattern mainly? Let's read verses 9 and 10 of John 15. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in His love. Jesus is saying, the key to my loving you, Jesus loving you, is abiding in my Father's love. Staying in my Father's love. Living on my Father's love. Resting in my Father's love. Loving being loved by my Father. And never doing anything that would contradict my rest in my Father's love for me. Is in His Father's love. That's what it says at the end of verse 10. I abide in His love. That's how He loves us. And He tells us, love each other as I love you. And the way He loves us is by drawing power, by abiding in His Father's love. You see where I'm getting it? Now, I might think at that point, is he really saying that? Is part of the newness, the likeness to Jesus' love, the living on Jesus, the way He lives on the Father, am I getting at that right here? Is there a way I can confirm that I'm on the right track here, thinking the thoughts of Jesus? And now we just do a little more context. Just go back up into chapter 15, and you know what this chapter is about. You know the imagery that he's talking about. He's talking about vines and branches. I'm the vine. You're the branch. That's what's going on here. When he talks about abiding in the Father's love, and you abide in me, and I abide in my Father, he's talking about vines and branches. Look at verse 5 of chapter 15. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me, and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. So as I meditated on that word, you can do nothing unless you're abiding in me. That's where I got the word power. Because another way to translate the word can do nothing is have no power to do anything. You can't do anything of any spiritual significance unless you're abiding in Jesus. And the reason is because vines give life to branches. You break them off, they're dead. And life and light and power to love, to bear fruit, comes from Jesus. And He's getting it because He's so completely unified with the Father. So we've got God's love flowing through the Son of God into us if He's abiding in the Father and we're abiding in Him. And therefore I'm arguing that consciously, if you had asked Jesus what's new about the new commandment, He would have included in His answer, bigger than mine, I have given you a pattern in chapter 13, and I am showing you that this commandment to love each other is new because I'm here now to be abided in for the power to live it. And you will never live it if you don't abide in me. So, what does abide mean? Could you, just for yourself, not for anybody else, just for your soul tonight, having heard this, you want to go home and obey. Okay, I'm supposed to abide. What do I do? There has to be something in our experience corresponding to these words. Hour by hour abiding in Jesus means hour by hour trusting Him to meet all your needs and be all your treasure. I'm just drawing out the implications of what happens when a vine is in a branch. I am here not by my big effort. You read the whole Gospel of John, you know that that is not the way it works. Believing on Jesus, trusting in Jesus, drinking from Jesus, eating Jesus is faith in the Gospel of John. So me to be in the vine is to rest there, trust there, draw down from there, stay there, receive there. Everything I need is coming from Him. I'm going nowhere but Him. That's faith. And so my answer to what is this abide? Hour by hour abiding means you walk out of here and you open the door of your car and some thought comes that, oh, things are going to go bad when I get home, or tomorrow's going to be hard, or whatever. And you resist that by faith by saying, no, I've got a great vine and He's all sufficient for me. And if I will trust Him, it will flow to me. Love will flow to me. I'll be able to love people. I'm not naturally a loving person. That's why I'm in the vine. And it's coming to me, and new life is coming into me. And the love of the Father for the Son and the love of the Son for us is flowing into me. And now we can love each other by abiding in the one who loves in us and through us. Would you stop the sermon here? Kind of done. Really all I have to say in terms of what's new. The pattern is new and the power is new. And Christ is the key to both. Watch Him and abide in Him. There was a verse in the context here that screamed at me, don't stop the sermon here. So there's just another couple of minutes. Here's the question. How can I presume to expect that the love of God will flow through the Son of God to me instead of wrath when I am a sinner? Now you might think, oh, you're just importing that in because you think you got to tack the gospel onto this message and talk about the blood of Jesus. Well, you might think that. I don't feel that kind of compulsion. I just want to say what I see. And the next verse, after verse 12 of John 15, goes like this. Let me read the two together. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lay down his life for his friends.